Have you ever heard about the most dangerous man alive? A person so powerful, so untouchable, that even terrorist organizations and national armies wouldn't dare go after him. That man's name is Peter. People don't say his name out loud. Why? Because the moment you cross him, you vanish. He's the definition of one-man army. But here's the twist. Peter is 60 years old. Inside a destroyed warehouse, a blood-covered man kneels on the floor, trembling. He's staring at someone in front of him. Someone calm, silent, deadly. The man says, "I heard Peter is sick, that he's suffering from an incurable disease." He looks at the stranger and continues, "But you don't look sick at all. You just killed everyone I brought." He gasps and adds, "There are assassins chasing you from every corner of the world. How are you still alive?" The stranger steps forward and smirks. He says, "So you want to know my secret?" He pulls off his mask. The man stares at his face and says, "This can't be. You look way too young." Peter replies with a cold grin, "Now that you've seen the truth, you die." And bang, one shot, one kill. The screen fades to black. We enter a quiet, peaceful library. Sunlight filters in through old curtains. Books everywhere. An elderly man is cleaning up the shelves. This man is Peter. He looks at a pile of pills on the table and thinks, "The doctor said there's no cure. My time's almost up. But I didn't want to spend my last days in a hospital bed." He sighs and continues thinking, "I've spent 60 years killing for my organization. Never took a single photo of myself. Not one." Suddenly, the library door creaks open. A teenage girl walks in. She says, "Excuse me, sir. Do you have any middle school books? I'm looking for some for my younger brother." Peter gives a gentle smile and says, "Yes, I think I have just what you need." He walks off, picks up a pile of books, and brings them back. The girl sees the stack and says, "That's a lot. I don't think I can afford all these." Peter says, "No need to pay. You can take them. I won't need them anymore." The girl looks surprised and says, "Really? Thank you so much." As Peter packs the books, he suddenly says something strange. He says, "You know, there are things in life we regret forever. So if I were you, I'd put the knife away and leave quietly." The girl freezes. She was hiding a knife. She says, "How do you know?" Peter doesn't flinch. He just looks her in the eye and says, "You're not the first to try. Won't be the last." The girl hesitates for a moment, then lunges at him with the knife. But Peter turns and gives her a piercing stare. She stops in her tracks. He says, "I've survived 50 years in this business. You really think I wouldn't spot a killer pretending to be an innocent girl?" He walks closer and adds, "I know what you said about your little brother is true. That's the only reason you're still breathing. So I'll give you one chance. Leave now, or you'll never see him again." The girl looks terrified. But before she can decide, crash, the ceiling explodes. 2 armed assassins drop down with guns. They start shooting without warning. Peter shields the girl, pushes her behind a desk, and takes a bullet to the stomach. She gasps and says, "You saved me?" Peter doesn't answer. He rolls, grabs a gun hidden behind some books, and gets ready to shoot. But before he fires, one of the assassins grabs the girl and puts a gun to her head. Peter pauses. Suddenly, bam! A third man punches Peter hard across the face. He hits the ground. The attacker laughs and says, "This is the Peter everyone fears?" He couldn't even dodge that punch. Then a man in a clean suit walks in, calm and smiling. He says, "The great Peter reduced to a bleeding old man. What a shame." Peter groans and asks, "Why? Why is our own organization trying to kill me?" The suited man says, "Because you're a threat. The boss wants you gone." Peter says, "I was his most loyal soldier. I followed every single order." The man laughs and replies, "Exactly. And now your existence is a liability." Peter's eyes narrow. The man says, "Yes. That's exactly why the boss wants you dead. You've killed thousands, Peter. And because of that, the underworld has put a bounty of $7.6 billion on your head. But no one knows your true identity. If they did, hundreds of killers would have already come for you. Peter smirks and says, "That's actually hilarious. Because the amount you just mentioned, I already have $7.6 billion sitting in my account." The man nods slowly. "Exactly. That's why the boss wants your money. It's too much for anyone to ignore. And that's why you'll die by my hands today." Before Peter can react, the man swings his fist, landing a brutal punch right to Pietro's face. The impact is so strong it sends Pietro flying across the room. Everyone assumes he's dead. Everyone except Bald Man. He says no, he's not the type to die so easily. Check his body carefully. But just then, Peter tosses a flash bomb toward them. The Bald Man's eyes widen. A flash bomb? The bomb explodes in a burst of blinding light. Using the chaos to his advantage, Peter vanishes into the night. The Bald Man shouts, "Find him. Now. We finish this tonight." The girl watching from the corner is frozen in shock. Outside, heavy rain pours down. We see a park, empty except for one battered figure. Peter sits on a bench, his body trembling from pain. He thinks, so, is this really my end? My whole life, I've only ever completed missions for my organization. And this is my reward? My own people trying to kill me? His thoughts drift back. When I was 10, I was kidnapped, taken along with other kids. While children my age were learning to write with pencils, I was forced to hold a knife trained to kill. While other kids entered middle school, I was already hacking high-level government websites. Years passed, and I became nothing more than a machine. Sometimes I fought alongside armies, other times with terrorist groups. Then, everything changed. The boss of our organization was replaced. The new boss kicked me out, said I was too old, useless. But now I see the truth. All he wanted was my money. Peter tries to stand, but pain shoots through his body. Why is my weak body failing me now? I want revenge. I want to kill every single one of them. The people who ruined my life. He collapses. His breathing stops. Peter dies in the rain. The scene shifts. We arrive at the hideout of Eight-Legged Man. The two young men who attacked Peter earlier are celebrating. One says, "I never thought the man people call the legendary killer would die like a dog at our hands. Every time I think about it, I can't stop laughing." He stares at a stolen photo of Peter. But suddenly, a voice speaks from the shadows. "You know, I've never taken a photo in my life. That picture you're holding? That's the very first one." The two spin around, startled. One of them whispers for a second, "I thought Peter was standing here. But who the hell is this guy wearing his shirt?" The stranger touches his chest. "To be honest, I'm not even sure what happened to me. I just woke up, and my body had completely changed." The killers narrow their eyes. "Who are you? How did you get here? You should leave while you can." The stranger says, "Cut the crap. Take me to Eight-Legged Man." The moment they hear their boss's name, the two are shocked. One laughs. "Oh, so you're one of us? Why didn't you say so? Do you know what the boss told us to do if someone comes asking about him?" Without warning, he lunges forward, throwing a punch. "He told us to kill them on the spot." But to his surprise, the stranger raises one hand and stops the punch effortlessly. The man freezes. This strength, Peter was said to be unmatched in his youth. Could it be? The one we killed wasn't him. And the real Peter is standing right here? The stranger says, "You're right." He twists the man's fingers until they snap, drawing a scream of pain. The second killer pulls out a knife and charges. But Peter moves like lightning, unleashing a flurry of punches until the man collapses. The first killer, clutching his broken hand, pulls a blade of his own. "Who the hell are you? Why attack us? Are you here to kill the boss?" Peter glances at the knife. "The way you're holding that means your specialty is knife combat. That makes you third class. Those who can use all types of weapons are second class. But have you ever heard of first class?" He grabs an octopus from a nearby tank, holding it like a weapon. First class is someone who can turn anything into a weapon. The man roars and attacks. Peter sidesteps, grabs him by the neck, and throws him into a vat of chemicals. Seconds later, the man's body goes limp. Peter picks up the stolen photo, sets it on fire, and uses the flame to light his cigarette. Smoke drifts in the air as the camera pans to his face. Now younger, sharper, more handsome than before. He says, "I'm back. Old Peter is dead. The young Peter has returned." The scene begins with a car driving along a lonely road. Inside the car, we see two people, a bald man and a female assassin. The bald man turns toward the woman and says, "Do you know? Peter never showed kindness to anyone. But strangely, with you he behaved differently, almost caring. Maybe it's because he doesn't have long to live. The cancer inside him is eating him away, and he knows his days are numbered. Perhaps he just wanted to spend his last days a little more peacefully. But soon everything changes." The bald man continues, "Any moment now, Peter's wanted status will officially be announced to the whole world. Once that happens, assassins everywhere will come hunting him down. At the same time, we are shown a young girl. Her face and body are bruised badly, beaten to the point of barely standing. The scene shifts. We're now in a subway station. People stand frozen, staring in shock. And then we see why. It's Peter. In front of everyone, Peter has stripped off his clothes and is staring into a mirror. He looks at his own reflection in disbelief. "What's happening to my body? Why does it look so young?" The scars, bullet wounds, and signs of aging, everything that once covered him, were gone. His skin was smooth, his muscles lean and strong. Peter touches his own face, stunned. What does this mean? Am I young again? With confusion in his heart, Peter steps outside. But his eyes immediately fall on something shocking. A giant poster plastered on the wall. On it is his face with the words, "Wanted alive or dead. Reward, $7.6 million. Hunters, bounty seekers, and assassins everywhere are already searching for him. But since Peter now looks young, nobody recognizes him. He smirks to himself, thinking, if I'm unrecognizable, I need to use this chance. I should escape quickly. But first, I need new clothes. Nearby, two men are smoking. Peter walks up to them and says politely, "Excuse me, but smoking is prohibited here. Don't you know that?" The men glare at him. "Who the hell are you to tell us what to do? Mind your own business before we beat you up." Peter turns and starts to walk away, seemingly backing down. The fat man laughs. "Ha! I thought he was going to fight. Turns out he's just a coward." But suddenly, click. Peter locks the door from outside and walks back toward them. The fat man frowns. "Hey, are you insane? Do you really want to die?" Peter calmly rolls up his sleeve, showing his arm. "Didn't your parents ever teach you to respect your elders? That's no way to speak to someone older." "Older? You? I'm way younger than you, punk." He swings his hand to slap Peter. But before he can touch him, boom! Peter's punch lands squarely on his face. It's so powerful that the fat man is knocked out instantly, collapsing like a sack of stones. The second man panics. He pulls out a knife. "You bastard! How dare you attack us? I'll kill you." He lunges at Peter, but Peter's reflexes are too sharp. In a blink, he snatches the knife from the man's hand and drives a crushing punch into his neck. The man chokes, gasping in pain. Terrified, the man stutters, Who are you? Why are you attacking us?" Peter grabs his shoulder tightly, leans close and whispers, "If you really want to know who I am, then you'll have to die first. Are you ready for that?" The man trembles so violently that he wets his pants right there. Peter pulls back in disgust. "Pathetic. You're disgusting." He considers killing him but stops. "No. From today, I'll only do things legally. So I'll let you live. This time." The next scene shows Peter walking away, now dressed in stylish new clothes. He had taken them from the unconscious fat man. With his youthful body and sharp looks, he now appears completely different, almost unrecognizable as the old Peter. He pulls out a phone to check his bank account, but what he sees shocks him. "What? My balance is zero? But what about my $7.6 billion? Where did it go?" Did someone steal it? Confused and furious, Peter continues down the street. Ahead of him, two students are talking. Hey, I want to apply to Glory College. If I get in, my future will be set. Of course, Glory College is the #1 institution in the country. Anyone who studies there has a guaranteed bright future. Peter overhears this conversation and thinks to himself, Glory Club. Everyone thinks it's just an organization that supports schools and builds bright futures. But in reality, it's nothing but a terrorist organization. An academy that trains killers like me. The scene shifts to a meat shop. A man is seen sitting on a chair, waiting nervously. He looks up and sneers. So, you really came here alone? And that too, to kill me? Don't you think this is your biggest mistake? We soon realize that this man is none other than the bald assassin, the same one who once tried to kill Peter. With a cold smile, he says, You're not Peter. To deal with you, I don't need assassins or any backup. I alone am enough. Hearing this, the man on the chair laughs mockingly. You seem a little too confident. Did you forget? I always keep my guards close. Suddenly, several muscular men step forward, surrounding the bald assassin. Without hesitation, they rush toward him with full force. But the bald man doesn't even flinch. He stands calmly, almost amused. Then few minutes later we see the man on the chair, shocked beyond belief, falls to the ground, trembling. How is this possible? No human can fight like this. The bald assassin bursts into laughter. Did you forget why they call me the eight-legged man? His body twists unnaturally, his face turning backward, his limbs stretching like elastic. Using his grotesque powers, he mercilessly slaughters every guard in the room. Finally, he walks toward the terrified man, who screams in desperation, Stay away from me. I don't want to die. But the eight-legged man shows no mercy and kills him instantly. The bald man looks around desperately, trying to spot him. His breathing grows heavier. He's here. He has to be nearby. Then suddenly, he feels something above him. Slowly, he tilts his head up and sees Peter hanging upside down from a pillar. Peter spits the red liquid down on him before dropping gracefully to the ground. With blinding speed, Peter kicks the gun out of his hand using his left arm and delivers a powerful punch to his face with his right. The bald man staggers backward, his mind racing. This speed, this strength. How can any man move like this? Who the hell is he? Before he can react, Peter grabs his neck and snaps it with brutal force. The bald man collapses to the ground, gasping. Peter stares at him coldly, then turns to walk away. But the bald man isn't finished yet. Though broken and bleeding, he clings to life, thinking, Impossible. In my entire life, I've never faced anyone this strong. Could this really be my end? No, I refuse to lose. Suddenly, a memory flashes in his mind. Years ago, his instructor warned him, no matter how strong you become, there will always be someone stronger. That's why you must develop a special technique. A last resort, powerful enough to kill even the strongest opponent. Driven by that advice, the bald man had created his secret technique. By wrapping his body around his opponent like a snake, he could crush their bones until they were destroyed completely. Back in the present, he grabs Peter's leg with incredible speed. His body twists around Peter like a snake, squeezing him tightly. Bones begin to crack, and Peter winces in pain. The bald man grins through blood-stained teeth. Did you really think you could defeat me, boy? No one in my entire life has ever beaten me. You're nothing compared to me. He tightens his grip, enjoying Peter's pain. But then, a voice cuts through the tension. How long are you going to hold him? He's already dead. Let go. The bald man's eyes widen. He turns his head and sees Peter standing casually just a few feet away, completely unharmed. He looks down in horror. The person he thought he had trapped in his deadly grip wasn't Peter at all. It was just another waiter, lifeless in his arms. No, impossible. How did you escape my technique? His mind reels and a terrifying realization creeps in. This boy, he isn't human. He feels like death itself standing before me. Out of desperation, He lunges toward the young woman and grabs her by the arm. Listen, she's a skilled assassin. I'll give her to you. She'll be useful to you. Keep her. The girl panics. Boss, no. I don't want to go with him. Shut up, the bald man yells. You'll do as I say. This is my order. He tries to escape, dragging her along, and says nervously, Don't worry, I'll pretend none of this ever happened. You'll get your money. Just forget today. But Peter's cold voice stops him in his tracks. Your special technique. How many times did I tell you to perfect it? It has too many weaknesses. But you never listened. The bald man freezes, stunned. What are you saying? Peter steps closer, his eyes sharp. Have you forgotten? The one who told you to create that technique was me. The bald man's memories crash down on him. His instructor, the one who guided him years ago, it was Peter all along. His face drains of color. It was you. You're Peter. No, this can't be. Peter smirks and walks toward him. Now you finally understand. In a flash, Peter grabs his arms and snaps them like twigs. The bald man screams in agony. Peter doesn't stop. He shatters his spine with a brutal strike, then finishes by breaking his neck completely. The bald man's body collapses lifelessly to the floor. His reign of power ends in silence. Then scene shifts to a tall skyscraper under the night sky. On its rooftop, a man is exercising with relentless focus. He is the boss of the Glory organization, the most feared syndicate in the underworld. Suddenly, his manager arrives, bowing respectfully before delivering urgent news. Master, Lord Eight-Legged Man has been killed, and we discovered that the one behind it was Peter. The boss freezes, then slowly rises to his full height. As the moonlight falls on his back, we see his tattoos, an intimidating lion and a woman engraved across his skin. His eyes narrow, his aura turning deadly cold. So, Peter wants war. He mutters darkly. Very well. If that is what he desires, I shall grant him his wish. With a sharp, commanding tone, he announces, From this moment, the hunt for Peter begins. Whoever brings me his head will be rewarded with $7.6 billion. The words ripple like thunder through the underworld. The scene shifts to a busy street the next day. Ordinary citizens walk by, chatting, shopping, and living their daily lives. But soon, they all notice something unusual. Posters large, bold, and strange. On each poster is an old picture of Peter, along with a message. The Glory Club provides shelter and support for the homeless and poor. Anyone can contribute and donate to help. To the public, it looks like a charity advertisement. But one man pauses before the poster, glaring at it with clenched fists. His jaw tightens in fury. That man is Peter himself. They've begun hunting me already, he mutters under his breath. To the common eye, the poster is harmless. But Peter knows the truth. Glory Club has always used such tactics, messages hidden in plain sight, to spread information among its assassins. This poster is not about charity. It's an order to kill him. As Peter walks down the street, he thinks deeply. I can't destroy Glory Club alone. I'll need help. There is one person I know. But should I really go to her? Even the thought of it makes me uncomfortable. The scene cuts to a hidden pub, tucked away in a dark alley, known only to a few. Inside, silence reigns. Several people lie unconscious on the floor, even the guards. Peter steps in cautiously. His eyes scan the scene, then settle on a certain wall. With steady hands, he presses a loose tile. Click! A hidden door opens, revealing a secret underground chamber. As Peter steps inside, his eyes widen. The basement is lavishly decorated, luxury furniture, intricate designs, and an almost royal atmosphere. Huge amounts of money have clearly been spent here. But before he can react further, something sharp touches his neck. A stick. Peter doesn't flinch. Instead, he smirks. Why waste so much money decorating a place when you can't even see it? A female voice responds calmly. Oh, so you already know who I am. From the shadows steps out a beautiful blind woman. Though her eyes cannot see, Her presence radiates sharpness and danger. She tilts her head slightly, sensing him. The man before me is young, but the killing intent inside him is enormous. You're no ordinary intruder. You're a killer. Without warning, she attacks. Her staff slashes through the air with incredible precision. But Peter dodges effortlessly, stepping aside with fluid grace. Again and again, she strikes, but Peter slips past every blow with ease. Finally, she hurls her staff like a spear, but Peter evades once more. She charges recklessly, only for Peter to grab her mid-motion and slam her to the ground. Before he can speak, she quickly draws a dagger, pressing it forward. Who are you? Did Glory Club send you? If you came to kill me, then why can't I feel any killing intent from you? Her suspicion grows. No matter, you're still a killer. That's enough proof. With a whistle, she calls her companion, a large dog named Alexander. The beast leaps toward Peter, teeth bared. But instead of attacking, the dog stops and starts wagging its tail, playing with Peter. The woman gasps in disbelief. What? Impossible! Moments later, she examines Peter's face closely, her hands running across his features. This doesn't make sense. How can a 60-year-old man suddenly turn into a young, handsome boy? Peter sighs, irritated. Would you stop? You've been checking my face for half an hour now. But how can I? She insists. Who would believe that an old man turned into a 25-year-old overnight? She leans closer, whispering curiously. You said you were shot in the stomach and died in a park. Fine then. Shoot me in the stomach too, and let's test this so-called miracle. Peter groans and flicks her head with a hard punch. You're insane. Finally, she settles down, listening carefully. So, you want to destroy Glory Club completely? Peter nods firmly. Yes, but to do that, I must first get inside. That means I'll have to rejoin them as one of their killers. Her eyes widen. You want to become a killer again? Then realization strikes her. Wait, I understand. If you re-enter as an assassin, everyone in Glory will be searching for Peter without realizing Peter is already among them. You'll control them all from the inside, and when the time is right, crush them. She leans dangerously close, whispering, You're terrifying, Peter. Peter frowns, warning her. I've told you before. Don't mess around like this with me. If you do, I won't come back. She chuckles softly. Still, your plan is nearly impossible. You know Glory only recruits children, kidnapping them and training them from a young age. I doubt they'd ever accept an outsider. Peter smirks. I know. That's why I already have a plan. The scene transitions to a prestigious high school, the most elite in the city. The courtyard bustles with students. Groups of girls whisper and giggle as their eyes follow a tall, handsome boy walking confidently. Who is he? The new transfer student? He's so cool. And so handsome. His name? Kim Sunday. But in reality, this transfer student is none other than Peter, hidden under a new identity. Narration overlaps with Peter's inner voice. I've registered here as a transfer student. On the surface, this is the city's top academic institution. But in truth, it hides a dark secret. This is where the Glory Club trains its assassins. The camera fades into a crowded school hallway. Students are rushing in every direction, chattering excitedly. The reason? An award ceremony is about to begin, and the entire school has gathered for the event. Among the crowd, one figure walks calmly, unbothered by the chaos around him. It's Peter, now disguised under his new identity as Kim Sun, the transfer student. Behind his ear, almost hidden under his hair, sits a small earpiece. Through it, the blind woman's voice whispers softly, her tone edged with warning. I don't know what exactly you're planning, Peter, but if you truly want Glory Club to notice you, you'll have to do something so bold, so reckless, that they cannot ignore you. Only then will they hunt you down, and only then can you get inside. Peter gives no reply. He just keeps walking until he reaches the grand stage. The entire hall quiets as he climbs the steps, standing before hundreds of students. He adjusts the microphone, scanning the audience with steady eyes. "Hello, friends," he begins. "I'm the new transfer student. My name is Kim Sunday, and I came here to tell you something special." The crowd murmurs in curiosity. Peter pauses, then delivers the line without hesitation. "My hobby is fighting. My skill is fighting. And more than anything else, I am a killer." The hall goes silent. Dozens of students stare in shock, eyes wide, whispers breaking out like wildfire. The blind woman, listening through the earpiece, gasps audibly. What did he just say? In the crowd, a handful of students exchange dark looks. These aren't ordinary students. They are Glory's hidden killers, armed with concealed weapons. One leans toward another and mutters, "Who is this guy? And why would he spout such nonsense on stage?" Another responds sharply, "Find out who he is, where he came from, immediately." Back on stage, Peter continues, his voice calm. "There's no need to be alarmed. When I say I'm a killer, what I mean is, I want to become one, because killers are cool. And I admire them greatly." Students pull out their phones, recording the entire scene. The strange declaration spreads like fire online. Moments later, the ceremony ends and Peter is cornered in the hallway by a group of angry boys. At the center is a large, heavy-set student, his face red with fury. "So you're the new guy," the boy growls. "How dare you harass the girls in this school? I even heard you laid hands on my girlfriend." Peter blinks in confusion. What nonsense are you talking about? I haven't touched anyone." But the big student suddenly bursts into exaggerated tears before clenching his fists in rage. "I'll teach you a lesson. After today, you'll never dare touch another girl again." With that, he charges at Peter, throwing a massive punch. But before the blow can land, Peter moves, so fast that his body blurs. In the blink of an eye, he's standing nose to nose with the big student. The air trembles as Peter's fist swings forward. At the last second, Peter halts his punch just shy of the boy's face. Instead, he taps the boy's forehead with a single finger. The impact is sharp and precise, leaving a deep dent-like mark on his skin. The crowd gasps. His speed, his strength, it's beyond anything a student should be capable of. At that moment, a teacher storms onto the scene, shouting angrily, "You! How dare you cause trouble here? You're a new transfer student, and on your very first day you start a fight? What will your parents think when they hear of this?" Peter's expression darkens. "You don't have to worry, sir. My parents are already dead." The teacher falters, stunned into silence, then grabs Peter by the arm and drags him away. Behind them, the big student yells, "Hey, our fight isn't finished yet." But another student whispers to him, "Be quiet. Don't you realize? He let you live. Next time, he won't." Among the onlookers are the hidden Glory killers, who watch Peter with growing interest. One smirks. "This boy, he's dangerous, but also very entertaining. Things are about to get interesting." Later, Peter is escorted past a classroom where Manhwa, the girl who once met him under very different circumstances, sits frozen. Her eyes widen in terror. Why is he here? Did he come to kill me? She spends the entire day on edge. When Peter finally approaches her desk, she stiffens. "There's no need to be afraid," Peter says casually. "I won't harm you." Manhwa snaps back. "I did exactly as you told me before. I lied for you. So why are you following me here?" Her mind flashes back to their previous encounter. Peter's cold voice echoes in her memory. When Glory comes looking for answers, they'll ask who killed their men. You will tell them, "It was the old man. Do this and I'll let you live." Now, in the present, Peter reassures her. "I said I wouldn't kill you. That still stands." "Then what do you want? Why are you here in this school?" Peter's reply is calm, but firm. "I have work to do. Important work. Don't get in my way." Her eyes narrow. "You don't understand. This school isn't as simple as it looks. It hides secrets even outsiders cannot imagine. If you're smart, you'll leave now." She stands, ready to walk away. But Peter calls after her. "Why do you care so much about me? If I'm nothing to you, why warn me? She spins around. I don't care about you. Why would I? Peter's lips curve into a faint smile. Because we're on the same sinking ship, Manhwa. Whether you admit it or not, we'll need each other to survive. Right? Lee Yuno. Her breath catches. He knows my real name. How? But when she turns back, Peter is already gone. The next day, another scene unfolds. In a secluded hallway, several delinquent students corner a teacher. One of them shouts, "How dare you complain to my parents about me? I told you to mind your own business." The teacher tries to stand firm. "You idiots! I am your teacher. If I report this to the principal, all of you will be expelled." The boys laugh cruelly, recording her on their phones. Expelled? No. Everyone will laugh when they see this video. Just then, Peter arrives. He steps between them and the teacher, his voice steady. "What do you think you're doing? Bullying a teacher?" The leader sneers. "And who the hell are you? Get lost before we beat you too." Peter tilts his head. "And if I don't leave?" Without warning, the delinquent lunges forward, throwing a heavy punch. But Peter slips aside effortlessly. The boy tries again and again, launching a flurry of attacks. But Peter dodges every blow as if he's toying with him. Then, in one swift motion, Peter grabs the boy by the neck, sweeps his leg, and slams him to the ground. Another boy picks up a rock, aiming to smash it down on Peter's head. But Peter doesn't flinch. He simply punches the rock mid-air, shattering it into dust. The bullies freeze in horror. Within moments, all three drop to their knees, trembling. "Please forgive us. We'll never do this again. Just let us go." Peter glares at them coldly. "Then leave, before I change my mind." They scramble away, terrified. The teacher still looked extremely nervous, while Peter smirked and said, "These guys are truly cowards. They even left their phone behind." As Peter bent down to pick it up, something unexpected happened. The timid-looking teacher suddenly launched a powerful kick toward Peter. But instead of being surprised, Peter blocked it with ease. The teacher's expression shifted from fear to excitement. With a smile, he said, "Just as I thought. You really are extraordinary." The scene shifted. The teacher removed his shirt, revealing a battle-ready stance. He stared at Peter and asked, "Hey Kim, can you tell me why you've mastered martial arts? I can see that you're highly skilled, but what is the true reason behind your intense training?" Peter's face hardened. Calmly, he replied, "Sir, the truth is, I seek revenge. I will kill every single one of them." Inside, Peter's thoughts burned with fury. Yes, revenge. And not against strangers, but against you and your kind. You all destroyed my life. You made my world a living hell. Peter continued, his voice heavy with pain. I lost my home. My parents were murdered. Now I have nothing left. Nothing but this empty body. That's why I trained myself to become strong. Strong enough to destroy those who ruined me. The teacher listened silently, then slowly stood tall. With a sly smile, he said, "Kim, I have an incredible offer for you. Do you truly want to become a killer?" At those words, Peter's lips curved into a smile. Inside, he thought, "Fool. This is exactly what I was waiting for." Peter glanced at the man, realizing that this wasn't just a normal teacher. He thinks I haven't noticed him, Peter thought. But everywhere I go, he's been watching me. This man is no ordinary instructor. He's a killer trainer. And now Peter knew this encounter was the first step toward his true revenge.